Hi there, I'm Kim Smith, the author of In the Holler, a Mount Moriah series novel, which is a romantic women's fiction. And if you haven't picked it up yet, I would really love it if you would do that. It came out on April the 15th. It is exclusive as an ebook at Amazon. And it's delightful, and I really enjoyed writing it, and I hope you'll go out and get it. The second book in the series is coming out in July, and the promotions for that should start very shortly, probably around the 1st of June. And I'll look forward to sharing all that with you also. Today, we're going to talk about 3 types of software that writers can write in to produce their book. If you haven't started writing your book yet and you're kind of curious as to all the different products out there that you might choose to do so, stick around because this one's for you. So today we're going to talk about 3 types of software that writers use to produce their books. And this is not the only products out there that you can produce a book in. These are not even probably, your top 3. There may be some that are even, more chosen over these. These are 3 that I've used personally. This is not sponsored by any of them. It's just products that I have personally used that I can recommend because I know how they work because I've used them. So let's get started with the 3 types of software writers use. So the first software package that I want to talk about, and I'm kind of going alphabetically here, you guys, is Microsoft Word. Now, I'm sure that you have heard of Word. Everybody's heard of Word. Word has been around as a Microsoft product for a very, very long time. And with the recent edition of the 365 package, which is in the cloud, you never have to worry about updating your software. It's always the most recent, newest, greatest version of Word that there is out there. And so likewise, it has some parts to it that I think are beneficial to an author. It has a built-in editor, and that built-in editor checks for grammar, punctuation, all kinds of stylistic issues. It'll flag you for some things that you might not even want to be flagged with, and you have the ability to ignore it if you don't want it to check for that issue. You can ignore it once, or you can ignore it forever. And sometimes, as an author, we decide to write in a sort of a dialect, and it's going to pick up all that, and you don't want to have to wade through it, tinginess about it, so you can turn it off if you want to. Now, some of the parts to this software are, it has track changes. So if you're working with an editor and they want to make changes to your manuscript, they can insert comments and they can use the track changes to show you where and what they're interested in you doing. And then likewise, you can turn on track changes, and any changes that you make based on their suggestions or any changes you make outside of their suggestions will be highlighted as well. And it highlights it in a different color so you can see theirs and you can see yours. There's also formatting options in 365 Word. You can format it based on a lot of different templates that they have. You can also put in your own custom sizing, and you can do it yourself. And I think that it's just delightful how you can create your own size of a Word document, or you can just use the gold standard. And one of the best things that I personally like about Word is that you can save your document in a variety of formats, including PDF. And a PDF would be, something maybe you would provide a beta reader or maybe a critique partner where you don't want for them to change anything necessarily, so it kind of locks it in place where they can't change it. And I really like that function, so that's a good thing for Word to have. The second software package that I have used is fairly new to me. I'm not sure that it's necessarily new to the market, but it's new to me. I've just recently purchased it, and I already like it for a lot of reasons. It provides me with a lot more in-depth edits than Word provides sometimes, and it's called prowritingaid. Now, prowritingaid has a free version, but there's some limitations to the free version, so I opted to buy the program for a year's usage of it, and that allowed me to get a lot of the reports and things that they offer to edit your manuscript by. And that includes a report that checks style, and it uses style guides to go by to determine whether you've possibly used words that are outside what a published book would have. It dings me a lot. And so I use it to catch a lot of my writing issues that fall outside of a style guide's recommendations. It also has reports for grammar. It checks grammar like nobody's business. It also has reports for cliched writing and overused words. These are some things that are just invaluable, things that you don't really catch as you're writing the book. It's like seeing the forest for the trees. You don't always catch it. Sometimes you'll have the in a sentence and you just don't catch it. Sometimes you'll say outside, and then you'll say out the back door, and then you'll say out the room. I mean, it's just like overused words that are your pet words that you are thinking and typing, but you're not necessarily editing yourself. And these programs are famous for that, and prowritingaid is really, really good to catch all of those types of errors. Excuse me. Now, the last program that I want to talk about is Scrivener. Now, Scrivener is available for Mac and PC. I don't know if prowritingaid is available for Mac and PC. I'm pretty confident that Microsoft Word is available for Mac and PC. It was a long time it wasn't. It was just for PC only, but I think that things like that have been upgraded and changed through the years. And I know Scrivener has always been preferred by Mac users, and I think that they lean more toward the Mac community than they did the PC community for a lot of time. But that too, as I've said, time has moved on and things have changed. And I really like Scrivener as well, and I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. But first, one of the first things that led me to Scrivener was the ability to research, say, you were looking at carriages. You were researching carriages in different time frames and different time eras, and you really found some that were interesting to you that you needed to have for an article you were writing, or maybe it was a blog post. The ability in Scrivener to copy and paste those articles into the software itself were very, very helpful, because that way you had it at your fingertips, and if you were writing and you needed to know the information about that carriage, you could just switch over to what you'd saved in there, and there you go. But another great benefit of Scrivener, and why I like it so much, is the ability to switch chapters and or scenes pretty seamlessly. You can take and you can just drag and drop a scene, drag and drop a chapter. It's very, very easy. The problem for me is changing it and then deciding that I didn't want to change it and having to go back and undo what I had done. But it is very, very much easier to make those kinds of changes in Scrivener than it is in Word, where you have to copy and paste and move. Now, let me say that you can find out more about these products at their respective sites. Microsoft Word is a part of Microsoft Suite. Scrivener has its own website, and prowritingaid is a website of its own also. Just go out onto the internet and look any of them up, and you'll take you to the website, and you can find out more about these products. And you really should do your research. Don't go buying stuff willy-nilly until you know exactly what you need. And I'm going to tell you now what my favorite is. Which one of these three do I use the most? Well, it's Microsoft Word, of course. I've been using Microsoft Word since the early 2000s, and I just love it. I mean, I know it has some problems. I know there's some drawbacks to Microsoft Word, but it is still the gold standard. People still use Microsoft Word a lot of times over the newer software, just for the simple fact that it's compatible. It doesn't matter who your editor is. Generally, as a general rule, most editors have Microsoft Word. And so getting a product to them, for them to be able to edit or proofread and get it back to you with those changes intact so that you can do the things that need to be done to it, is just effortless with Microsoft Word. So that's my favorite. I don't know about you guys, but you are so welcome to leave me comments down below and tell me, what do you use and why do you like it? Let's have a discussion about these products. I'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't, I would really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. This helps me so much to bring more productions, more videos, as it were, to you every week. And we do provide them to you every Monday. And until next time, this is me saying adios and farewell.